Well, hello, Odin. You're an early bird today. I'm okay with that. Alrighty. Suppose we will just jump right in. So, let's start with clouds, and actually, before we get too far into clouds, let me just steal some of that color and tint my moon. The moon can have a little bit of color too. There we go. Now we'll get to some cloudy business. Cloudy, spacey, chaotic. Whatever happens, happens. Well, hello, Mr. Frog on the dot. Yes, you are. Was prepared. I mean, it happens sometimes. I did a big moon earlier in the week. I think it was technically still this week. I wanted to do another one. So, but this one's gonna be different. I mean, the moon is technically the same, but the painting is gonna be different. Okay, we're just gonna boopity boppity boop some cloud business into existence. I am not wearing gloves. What in the heck am I doing? This is how we get painted hands and clothes, and this is how the paint spreads. Silly me. Alright, now that I have my bright blue reminder to not touch anything I'm not supposed to touch. Alright, blending a cloud. Heavens me, I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached. We can still fluff our clouds by going vertical and then horizontal. Alrighty. Cloud 1. Wow, let's do another one. Let's do another cloud. I have plans to do stars today too, but I'm thinking I'm going to save my stars until towards the end. So who wants the job of yelling stars at me as the painting gets closer to being done? Anyone can have it. Anyone can have that job. You could all have that job. I will more than likely remember, but just in case, we can all be held reasonably, responsibly, and reliable, right? We're all liable if the stars don't come out tonight. Let's blend this little cloud up with little circles with my 1-inch oval brush. Little itty bitty circles, followed by some vertical brush strokes, followed by horizontal ones. That cloud grew a little bit after that. That's okay. It's a pretty normal thing. We was here at the start, dog in my lap, ready to watch magic at work. Why, thank you. I think before I came downstairs to get ready, I had a dog on my lap. Makes it sound nice. I had a dog squishing my knees into the couch because she's 50 pounds and thinks she's a lap dog. She is, in fact, not a lap dog. But I'm not going to tell her that. That might just break her poor little heart. Okay? Don't tell my other dog he's not a lap dog either, but he's decidedly lighter at 40 pounds. My cats are the only ones appropriately sized for lapping. broke my fan brush and I taped it back together. It still technically functions, but I can feel where it's broken and I'm sad. Ooh, I just did a piece similar with a big old moon. Yeah, a lot of people do those. I can't say I'm familiar, Jason, but maybe I'll check your stuff out when I am done. I have plans in my brain for this little piece. It might not be super obvious that I am doing a 12 by 16, but I am doing a 12 by 16. I think I'll just throw in a little fluffer right over here. But I think those are going to be the clouds for now, because I got to leave room for other stuff. Just posted, cool. My dog is falling asleep. My dog probably asleep again. One of them is doped up on meds, because he has to be. And the other one probably knows that we're getting towards the end of the day, so she's probably just relaxing. And for anyone who doesn't know, my dog Ruger got neutered on Monday, which is why he's on meds. He's on pain meds and meds that are supposed to help him relax so he doesn't accidentally injure himself while he's healing. So, necessary evil, as far as he's concerned. It's probably not necessary, but it had to happen. Let's blend this little fluffy. Alrighty. Why don't we just, for fun, just kind of take a light color like so. I'm not going to do any clouds, but we'll just kind of do one of these things with a lighter color. And this we can blend like crazy because it's not technically a cloud, it's just some color. Meant to spice things up back here before we drop in some rock formations. We're going to get kind of crazy today. Hopefully the pretty kind though. Love the cloud technique, thank you. That's... I'm not really sure the best way to explain it, but just, I've got the undercolor on the canvas already. And I really just take the liquid white and just kind of, as long as you don't have too much paint on your brush, you need more than you think, but you can definitely overdo it. You can just kind of put it on there and blend it out with the 1-inch oval brush. I'm pretty sure you can use just a regular 1-inch brush too, but I just prefer the 1-inch oval brush personally. Now I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to grab some Van Dyke Brown, maybe a little alizarin crimson, why not? And why don't I throw in a smoocherin of sap green? I have some here somewhere. That's not it. Nope, still not it. I don't technically need it, so I guess we're just going to go with Van Dyke Brown because my sap green ran away from me. It's here somewhere. I probably just put it away in a safe place. Oh yeah, there it is. A safe place is never safe. Not for me. There we go. Now I can throw some sap green in there. I'm just making a dark brown though. Nothing too crazy. We're making some rocks, guys. I'm going to start out with some pretty standard color undercolor rocks too. And then things should happen. So let me just come right there. Don't know how much of this you'll be able to see just yet. Is Mel busy? I assume so. She didn't give me any details, but she did say she wouldn't be able to make the stream tonight. So not sure what's up. So she could be lost in a book. That would be the best case scenario as to why she's not here. Her and I have like a little passive 2-person book club. We're reading a book separately together. But I can't really imagine her skipping the stream just to read her book. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is she's not here. And she gave me a heads up. Alright, so there is that bit. And we're going to throw in a couple little bits in the back there. Doesn't matter what's in between there, because we're going to we're going to have a big old tree in the middle here. And with any luck, if I don't die, apparently I can't breathe without choking on air. Heavens to Betsy. Anyway, ignoring that, I want to do a cherry blossom tree today. I mean, you could, I'm sure there's no harm in sending it. She's pretty chill. But, you know, she did say she wouldn't be able to make it today. Sad face. So, I need some stuff happen over here. It's got to come over here. I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to leave that as is for a moment. And this should come, I don't know, something like that. Why don't I'm going to drop in the undercolor for my tree here real quick. And then we'll start highlighting some things before making other decisions. Since you can't really tell where I just put those rocks until I highlight them. But I need a tree to happen first. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to use the same undercolor. There's red in this undercolor. Should play nicely with my tree that isn't here yet, but let's see. And I know there's going to be some bits over there. And it's going to come over here. Alright. I'll do the fine tuning of the branches with just a liner brush here, but this is a pretty dark painting, so bear with me. Okay. Just, I needed some land before I could put my tree fully into existence. I need to frame that in a little bit. And I don't need too many branches. It's just kind of like a loose frame. This just gives me an idea of where some branches are going to live. They don't even have to live exactly where I put the branches. But it's a jumping off point. There is the frame. So, cherry blossom trees are mostly pinkish whitish. They tend to be darker towards the middle where they're not getting as much light. So, I'm going to take alizarin crimson as my base color. And we're going to mix in a teensy weensy little itty bitty bit of Van Dyke brown. And then the highlight color is just going to basically be pink. So why don't we go load up our good old 1-inch brush. See if we can't make a tree. Let's see. I'm just gonna smush some color into existence, loving that shape already. I want a little bit that comes down. I'm gonna come over here. Bring it up a little bit. Yeah. Looking pretty good for a basic shape. That's all we're doing right now is it's the basic shape of a cherry blossom tree. Early name, but Moonlight Blossoms. Loving that. And you guys can drop names as early as you want. I'm not going to stop you because I love seeing them. It's great. I just used all of my alizarin crimson between my rocks and my tree. So I'm going to mix up a little bit more paint color, get that crimson color back on my palette so I can mix in like a highlight color. And that's going to be the only tree in this painting, guys. The only one. There will be other plant life, but that's going to be the only tree. So let's make sure we do a good job. When I say that is if you guys have any control over how this turns out. But the support is helpful. Screen tappings, comments, gifts, all of that is very helpful. My cherry blossom tree thanks you in advance. So, I'm getting a different 1-inch brush. Do the highlighty bits because I have a different one, so I'm going to use it. Foliage, yes. That's a very fancy term. I don't often think of the more appropriate terms whilst I'm painting because it's difficult sometimes. I do my best. So I'm gonna start at the top. We're gonna work in highlighting layers. Making sure we leave space where things are a little bit darker. Things and places where the light touches are going to be a little bit brighter. So, this particular bit is brighter. That's all right. Just going to take some of that and bring it down. And just because I think my 1-inch oval brush catches the angle a little bit better, I'm going to use that one to just get some of the downward bits. So, let's grab same color, load it up, tap out the excess, and we're just going to bring some of these bits just ever so slightly down. There we go. Helps when you have enough paint on your brush. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk it? Yeah, there we go. just a little bit of liquid white. We're just going to come in here, touch a few spots here and there where it's extra bright. Just kind of around the tops of certain little bushy, roundy bits. It wouldn't be super bright everywhere. Right here and there, you're going to see some extra bright spots. Plus, cherry blossom trees are supposed to be kind of pink and white. So, I'm just going to make that a little bit more subtle. Tap that in a little bit. Yes, I don't want to blend it away, but it doesn't need to be the most obvious thing either. There we go. Now I can come back and just touch a couple little spots, blend it a little at the bottom. Fancy schmancy. I think we've got a pretty successful cherry blossom here, guys. What do you think? I think it looks pretty snazzy. So why don't we put some highlights on our rocks so we can actually see what they look like? Because they can't stay as dark as they are. We'll never see them when the paint dries. I can barely see them now. But a little highlight goes a long way. So, really, really, really does. That's probably going to stop right about there because there's a tree branch there. Well, not a branch, a root. That's the word I'm looking for. It's looking better already, guys. A little bit of highlights in there. Oh, I thank you. Appreciate that. I need some. Yeah, there we go. Somewhere over here, there lives a few more stones that are catching some brightness. We're going to ignore here just for a moment. Just for a moment. Not too many though. But I do need to get some more liquid white on my palette. So that's just what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to clean off my fan brush because I didn't do that. And I need to because now I need my fan brush. Oh, did Kim pop into the chat? I didn't even see him enter. I should also, in a moment here, not like this second, but I should also go ahead and highlight the branches of my tree. I should do that. Pretty sure I dropped a little bit of color down there, but just in case, I'll drop some more. it is if you're going to drop something bright in, it needs something dark usually to sit in front of so the color doesn't just get washed away. Pardon me, guys. I don't know. Ugh. Probably dust or something. Although I'm thinking Mel's gonna miss the fact that I'm doing a waterfall and she's not here. She apparently likes the waterfalls. I don't blame her. I also like them. And grab some of that titanium white that hasn't been thinned out. We're going to start throwing in somewhere an approximate end of this waterfall. It doesn't really end. And because we need something to help frame this waterfall. How about some rocks? How about that? And if you think your rocks are too bright, you can throw in some darkness. And just like that, they look a little bit cooler. I'm going to leave it a little bit dark up there because that's probably a pretty dark spot with that sitting right over top of it like that. We can have a couple little bits here and there. And bring that down. Do a little blendy. This is about to get obscured just slightly. Do a pre-blend of this area. So I'm going to throw some highlights on my tree, and then highlight the rocks behind it actually. Well, I dropped my paper towels in my paint. Whoops. Let's not forget about these guys. They are important. There we go. There we go. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten that there's a whole other side over there. Well, hello, Ken. I didn't forget it. It's just that the stuff that lives over there doesn't live there yet. That's all. I haven't put anything over there just yet. So, let's get some highlights on this fun little tree. We can come right up in here a little bit. slight pinky flare to this, because why the heck not? I just mixed a little bit of a pinkish color into my highlight color for my bark, which was basically, where the heck does it go? The same color as my rocks. I want it to be a bit more distinct, so I mixed in some pink. No one's out here telling me I can't have slightly unrealistic colored tree bark. Plus, this painting's about to take about to go in a different direction. Alright. You can always touch that up with a little bit of detail work with my liner brush, but I'm thinking that's going to be a pretty distinct little bark situation we got. You can kind of see where this tree really starts to take shape. Yes. The branch lives here too. I just decided it. Because it looks really cool, okay? One over there. I might even put it. No, also loves cherry blossom trees. I decided this very impromptu. I had a different plan earlier, and then I was like, ooh, cherry blossom tree. Because I saw a picture, and I was like, yep, changed my mind. This is what we're doing today. So, I'll just have to send y'all a picture later. Okie dokie. Just because that branch just happened to touch just slightly into where I didn't want it, we're just going to cover it back up. Easy peasy. And just tap, 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 tap. I'm not doing anything super fancy right now other than just moving some paint around. In case you were wondering, I was just scraping my palette knife around my bark on my trees just to kind of get things moving. So, I am going to land over here just a little bit. It kind of looks disconnected because it is disconnected. It's not connected to anything. It's not supposed to be. Because that's not what we're doing today. We're not doing things that make sense. We're doing silly things. Maybe we'll put one more up there. Something that's right about here. Like maybe you can get up there, but hopefully you've got good jumping skills. Otherwise you might not make it. You might fall into the endless void of space. It's probably a pretty special cherry blossom tree that's sitting on here like it is. but I don't quite know what makes it so special. I was not here for the debriefing of why it's special. But it probably is, if it's so difficult to reach. Something about it. Should make it special. We're getting closer and closer to meeting those name suggestions in earnest, guys. If you haven't been thinking about them already, start thinking about them. We'll pick one randomly at the end. And good old-fashioned fan brush. Gonna help me add some more mysterious bits. But you guys can definitely start dropping in some name titles, name suggestions. I've got a couple more things to do with some, we're gonna do a couple bushes. We're gonna add a couple little bits here and there. We'll blend that out a little bit better too, but I'm gonna clean off the good old 1-inch oval brush before we can really start throwing in bushes and things. And of course, stars. I wasn't gonna forget, guys. Holy cow, we're almost at 5K though. Also, what is my dog barking at? Probably the wind. Alrighty, I've got a clean enough 1-inch oval brush. Alrighty. Doesn't necessarily have to be a cloud. I'm just going to fluff it like one. So. Alrighty. Give this a good and honest blending. Just like that, come across. Again. My dog is still barking at the wind. She's a goober. Alrighty, I'm just gonna add maybe just a little bit of a little wispy bits. Just a couple. Those in. Alrighty, I'm gonna go grab, let's keep it simple. We'll just do a dark brown, some crimson. We'll call that my undercolor for the couple of bushes I'm gonna drop in. We'll keep the theme, we'll keep it kind of pinky purple. Alrighty. Moonlit garden, delightful, Odin, love that. Keep dropping titles, guys. If you've got them, your title could be randomly selected to be the title of this painting. It's painting 112, believe it or not. Pretty sure there's a teensy weensy bit of land right there. Put a bush there. Close my eyes, do a scroll, and then wherever my finger happens to land is where we're going to find our title. And I think there's going to be a sneaky bush right there. Yeah, that's it. There's one right there. Grew right over that limb. I don't know who authorized you to do so, but there it is. Tree of Life, yeah, Rose. It could be. That's a great title. Very fun titles, guys. Very fun. Like I said, you can say the same one more than times. You could say the same title more than once, or you could drop different ones if you've got more than one idea. I should have plenty of liquid white on my palette to make some good old-fashioned stars. Because we're getting close to that too. So, I'm going to grab a little titanium white, a little alizarin crimson. I'm going to grab an itty bitty bit of purple just to change the flavor of this color. And I'm going to just take a tiny itty bitty bit, little bit, barely any liquid white to thin out this highlight color. Just a little bit. And then we're going to come say hello to our bushes again. Down and down and down it goes. Let's see. My other oval brush still catches this angle just that little bit better. It really does. Helps things roll over. There we go. Then a couple little bright spots at the top again. Do a lighter color for this one. Since I want this one to hang down just a little bit over the edge. I might be building these bushes upside down, I don't know. But I'm getting the effects that I want, so if my order of operations is a little off, then so be it. All right. Let's get a little something over there. A couple little bits. And why don't you just come down here? Look at that. Maybe there's a couple little somethings over there too. So, stars. Loading up some liquid white onto my fan brush. Yggdrasil's. I feel like I butchered that. Tree of Life, Mystery of Life. Yggdrasil's Rest. I feel like I am definitely saying that wrong, but it sounds fun. And somehow, oddly, like, I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Like, I feel like somewhere in my mind I know how that word's supposed to be pronounced, and I just can't say it. Look at all the stars, guys. Now our galaxy looks super, super galactic. Now that the stars are out. Never have too many stars. Don't listen to anyone who says otherwise, because obviously stars are amazing. Plus, you never know which ones are going to stick around when it dries and which ones are going to just fade to being just barely visible. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to have to sign this. Star time? Yes, it is. Look at that. Delightful. Delightful painting. I'm just going to touch that one little boop. Just like that. There it goes. That one too. Boop. There we go. Although I kind of like those bright bits. I just didn't want the super extra bits. Yeah. Anyway, before I make endless amounts of stars, I think I should put my name on this. What do you guys think? Pick a name, add a title. I think it's time. Go ahead and put my name over here, right at the bottom of this waterfall. I appreciate everyone who comes in so, like, regularly. You guys are great. Galactic Garden, also fantastic suggestion. Why don't we flip this over? Write the important necessary bits like, you know, my signature, the date, the fact that this is painting number 112. And then we can do the fun thing and select a title. I think this was my last 12 by 16 too. I think I'm officially out of this size, at least till I buy more. I've got a few 12 by 12s, a couple 10 by 20s, and a handful or so of doobie-doo 16 by 20s. Number 112, 326. Look at you go, Odin. Look at you go. Very helpful. $3.26. I have a brother, his birthday's today. We're not super close though. I don't even have a way to contact him, but I think about him every day. Not every day, every time his birthday rolls around. He crosses my mind. I guess technically that would be half brother, but I digress. Brother all the same. 326, painting 112. Alrighty, I hope you guys have put your title suggestions in, whichever ones you were thinking of. Drop them in the title, or in the comments, I mean. We are gonna come select one. I'm gonna scroll to before wherever the first one was dropped. So, Galactic Garden, right on the nose actually. Mr. Odin. Our title has been selected, and Mel can't even pin it for me. I need a second moderator. I really do, because I know Mel can't always be here, but I need the occasional extra person. That's okay. Also, we bumped over 5K for the hearts. Good job, guys. I don't know why I keep looking like I don't know how to spell galactic, but I think that's just my anxiety. Like, what if I spell it wrong because I'm talking and I'm not thinking about spelling? Galactic Garden. Boom. Look at that. We'll flip it over and we'll look at the pretty side again. But Odin, your title was selected randomly, but it is very fitting. So, super duper fun little cherry blossom-esque spacey shenanigans. We got shenanigans. It's a wild Wednesday if we wanted to be matchy somewhat. There's an English term for that. When the letters all come together. Anywho. Oh, it happens, Mr. Frog. There's always tomorrow. And, you know, every show. I appreciate it, Mr. Frog. And appreciate you popping in for however long, like, even if you guys can't be here for the whole show. I always appreciate my regulars and anyone else who pops in and out just for hanging out, dropping a like or a comment, and hanging out for however long you can. No puzzle piece of doom today either. And none of my technologies had the catastrophic fails. My phone had like a few percent of battery left yesterday. And it tried to die. And then it realized it had power. And so it didn't die. But it froze on the shutting down screen. So I could kind of see behind it where my phone's like, I have battery life. And I'm like, yes, you do. But the forefront was like a frozen shutting down screen. And I just couldn't do anything with it. It just, I don't know what happened. I had to force restart it. It was whatever that was. Unfortunate. Poor timing. No weird technology fails today, though. I still listen. I appreciate that. I feel like I've got a couple people who I've heard they just have it kind of play in the background with whatever they're doing, and they just enjoy listening to the process. And I think that's super cool because I feel like I've definitely done that with other creators before. I just kind of like listen while they do their live. And that's still an accomplishment in its own right. I appreciate it. So, thank you guys for sharing, liking, and doing all of the good stuff. I kept that inside an hour, which blows my mind. I'm usually at the hour and a half mark. So, but it was just a simple little rock and tree painting today. With some floaty, questionable stepstones. In case you were trying to make the trek over to the tree. But yep, have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's my Friday. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet. I usually just have my paintings during my daughter's nap that day. I think about it. So, but have a good night, everyone, and I will see you guys tomorrow for what is my Friday. And at some point, I've got a couple paintings I've got to mail out, but perhaps I'll do that Friday. So, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. And have a delightful evening. Oopsie.